Wealthy people broadcast what they want, their desires in life, their goals, on the wealth wave, on the billionaire brainwave, because this is the secret that I have used to bring in billions and billions and billions of dollars and create stuff out of nothing.
The good you desire is a frequency. There's your money frequency. That's a frequency. That's the new building you want. That's the new dress you want. That's a new car you want. That's a new house you want. That's a summer. That's a trip you want to take. It's something you see in your imagination. But I'm going to tell you, there's a frequency that matches with it. You've got to get your energy in harmony with that.
Vibrational frequency is real because everything vibrates. To increase your vibrational state, you need to do things that increase your vibration. Who you spend your time with, who you share your energy with. You can have low vibrational frequency habits, lust and ungratitude, self-pity, or shame. So if you're feeling these states, you are vibrating at a lower frequency. On the higher frequency, you have love, gratitude. Isn't that the best time you feel?
See, it's all about the mind. It's your marvelous mind. You have one. Now, you may be looking at your results today and you think, well, I've never really done anything. But you can. Start now. Just start now. Don't think you can't. Understanding the laws governing the mind. If you want to harmonize with the money frequency, it's your mind. That's what you're going to do. You're not going to do it with your arm, your leg. Doesn't matter how physically strong you are. You're doing this mentally.
If you are happy, then you are going to bring money into your life. The shortcut to the secret is be happy now. And if you're happy now, you're going to attract everything that makes you happy. And what makes you happy? Not a lack of money, but more money. If you're somebody who wants financial freedom, you can have it. I'm saying to you, you can have it. The feeling of financial freedom is a peaceful feeling.
Imagination is the most powerful, it's the most marvelous, inconceivably powerful force you'll ever know. Now, your imagination will take you anywhere you want to go. Your imagination will take you to the other side of the world. It will take you into a whole new life. And you've got one. Most people are using their imagination against them. They're imagining everything's going to get worse. Start to imagine everything will get better.
The most important lesson you can learn on Earth is how to manipulate energy. So what does that mean? Create. You have to learn how to create. There's only two rules about creating your reality. You never create anything that will harm any other person. And you never create anything that will take away from another person. You obey those two rules, you can have absolutely anything you want. There are no limitations except what you put on yourself. You helped create universes, you helped create planets, you helped create water, you created everything. Look what a powerful being you are. You did these things. Now you're in a human body, you forget the power you have. Nothing is impossible.
What you want to do is you've got to stretch. You've got to really get your mind going. This is where you kick your imagination into high gear. And you get up there in a C-type goal. A C-type goal is what do you really want to do? That's where you've got to go. You don't know how, but you know you will. Now that is the kind of attitude that'll give you anything you want. It's given me an income. It's given me millions of dollars.
Dollars that flow, they're just evidence of the vibrational currency that you've got going on. But most people have practiced lack of dollars, lack of dollars, lack of dollars. So they'll allow abundance of vitality or abundance of invigoration or abundance of friendships or abundance of love. There are so many people that will allow abundance of one thing and another, just not abundance of money yet, because they've practiced the thought of not enough money so much. They've been close on making their payments and worried about money, and they've been measuring money with action and how much do you get per hour and what's your salary and what's your talent worth and how much can you perform and why is your performance earn more money than that performance. People are all wadded up out here in the manifestations of money, and if you would just step back and talk about energy, which means talk about satisfaction. You want to be filthy rich with enthusiasm, filthy rich with happiness, filthy rich with satisfaction. I'm so rich with really good ideas. I'm so rich with happiness when I wake up in the morning. That's what you've got to be ready for. And when you get there, so that you feel that way, no matter what the state of money is, then the state of money must match the state of vibration. It's law.
That all the teachers I've had They all help me focus on my mindset. I have a very strong mindset. It's given me a life that most people just dream of living. That's what my mindset has done. Mindset will do the same for you. It'll do exactly the same for you. The secret is your mindset.
Wealthy people understand the power of artifacts, physical items. Everything in the universe vibrates. Science knows this. This is not me saying it. So gold vibrates at a certain frequency. Silver vibrates at a different frequency. Everything in the universe is frequency and vibration. So if you have a particular item that resonates or vibrates or puts out a frequency, it's going to physically affect your body. We know this, so it can help you broadcast on that wealth wave, that billionaire brainwave.
When you move, this is very important. When you move to a higher frequency, you're going to be communicating with a world that is totally foreign to and beyond the reach of your five senses. See, this is where people are going to think, this guy's nuts. He thinks he can become a millionaire and he's broke. That's where I was. I was thinking I could become a millionaire and I was broke.
The highest form of vibrational frequency is the vibrational frequency of authenticity. Be the truest form of yourself. The problem is most people are not them. They're shells of the ambitions and the desires of other people. So once you live authentically and in truth, you elevate yourself to that vibrational frequency where you realize who you actually are, and you don't condition yourself or limit yourself by all the past. And by breaking that illusion, you instantly enter a new paradigm of reality. And I truly believe that you can break that with full confidence right away, because the mind can conquer everything.
What we've got to do is get on the frequency. We've got to match the frequency. Now, what do we mean by that? That means that you've got to get vibrating, you do, on the same frequency of the good that you desire. You literally fall in love with the idea of what you want. If you hold that idea in your mind, you will start moving toward it and it'll start moving toward you. Well, it happens because you're on the same frequency. Everything on that frequency is going to come into your life.
I noticed that every single man or woman that I had studied who had achieved any kind of success in any field whatsoever had done it after they had made a commitment to becoming excellent in that field. And I began to look and I began to compare and I began to talk to people, and I speak to thousands of people virtually every month. I found that I never found a single person who was successful who was not excellent at what they did. That competence, the commitment to becoming excellent in your chosen field, is an indispensable prerequisite for success. That if you are not good at what you do, you haven't got a chance in our competitive society unless you win the lottery. That success is predictable. If you commit yourself to becoming excellent, it does a whole lot of other things within your mind, but if you commit yourself to becoming excellent, it changes everything about you. And only the top 5 or 10% are excellent. You've heard the rule, the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, that the top 20% of salespeople make 80% of the sales, that the bottom 80% of salespeople make 20% of the sales. Do you know what the difference, the ratio is there? The ratio is the difference between 16 to 1. That the average income of people in the top 20% is 16 times the average income of the people in the bottom 80%.
To move to a much higher frequency of thought, you must first consent. In other words, that means you've got to decide. I can't do it for you. As much as I would like to, from my brother, my sister, my aunts and uncles, my nieces, my nephews, my grandkids. This is something I would like to do for almost everybody I know. When I see them struggle, I think, God, I'd love to do this for you. But you can't do it. You've got to do it for yourself. Move to a much higher frequency. You got to consent. And then you have to adapt to the ideas and feelings the new frequency represent. Do you remember when you started in this new company? You didn't know anybody. You'd hear people look and say, that's the new guy. That's the new girl. You had to adapt to the new frequency, adapt to the feelings, the ideas.
This is why wealthy people always have heirlooms in their house that come down through generations of wealth, because those heirlooms have wealth vibrations. And when those heirlooms or antiques are in a home, like artwork and things, it affects and helps the person broadcast on that wealth wave or that billionaire brainwave.
The moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. This union results in the activation and the projection of its plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances. Now seriously think about what we're talking about here. The moment your belief matches with any state, so you've got this beautiful idea, you're studying, you think, I'm going to get that. This is, how do you fuse with it? You act like the person you want to become. Every personal development course you'll ever look at, act like the person you want to become. The moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. You become one with it. This union results the activation and projection of its plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances.
You need to master billionaire frequency, because getting everything you want is stupid easy when you stop chasing and start embodying. You don't need to go after anything. You just become the person who already has it. The energy shifts first and reality follows you.
The longer you can hold your mental picture, the more deeply it will be impressed into your subconscious mind, and the more rapidly it will express itself in your subsequent performance. There seems to be a direct relationship between how clearly you can see your desired goal or result in your mind and how quickly it comes into your reality. This element of visualization is what explains the powers of the law of attraction and the law of correspondence. The vividness of your desire directly determines how quickly it materializes in the world around you.
Visualize it, but also feel it. Like, feel yourself there. Close your eyes, smile to yourself, and feel yourself there. And believe me when I say you can manifest that. I know you think I'm crazy, but it's the joke in life. I'm telling you, it's the joke in life. You can't go to places physically until you go there emotionally and in your mind first. Then once you're there, you're ready. But when you hold on to the negative thoughts, it's like walking around with all this baggage and luggage. Who needs that, really?
Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, it's physics.
The last 5 minutes of the day, before you go to sleep at night, are the most important 5 minutes of your day. You are now going to go into your subconscious mind for the next 8 hours, and you're going to marinate there in those 8 hours. As you enter into your subconscious mind, you can do one of two things. You can review all of the things that you didn't like, that didn't work, that disappointed you, all of the stuff that's going on in the world that you hate. Now you wake up, and your subconscious mind begins to offer you up experiences that match up to everything that you've placed in there. Or use those last 5 minutes to program into, I am well, I am healthy, I am content, I am peaceful, I am unattached, I am in love. And you just start to program yourself this way so that when you wake up, your subconscious mind, which can't make a distinction between the thoughts that you have or the actual things that are going on in your physical life. So if your subconscious mind is being programmed to say, this will never work out, the universal subconscious mind will begin to offer you experiences that match up to that, and you'll go through your whole life.
The more specific you can be in terms of what you want and when you want to achieve it, expressed in the positive present tense and beginning with the word I, the more powerful the effect will be on your subconscious mind. Goals written and stated in this way cause you to develop new beliefs about what is possible for you.
Anything you say with the words I am, your subconscious will then take that as a command. And so we're constantly programming our subconscious. If you say, I am sick, you're actually creating sick in the future.
Oh my gosh.
See, a lot of people think when they're describing the present, well, I'm sick, you know. But the fact is, you're prescribing the future by describing the present as it is. And most people never get that. So this is why the people that live the most effective lives are always acting as if they're in the future and the future's perfect, you know, not waiting to get there.
Let's stop and think about the environment we were raised in. Here's the baby. The ideas and the thoughts and the concepts that are going on around that baby are going right into that baby's subconscious mind. Through repetition, over and over and over again. And remember, the baby's getting it all day, all week, every week, all month, every month, all year. And this goes on for 4 or 5 years. And the baby reaches the age of 4 or 5 where they can start to think that baby's programmed. That baby is programmed to think like the people it had been surrounded by. If the people that surrounded that baby had gone right through school, the baby will probably grow up and go right through school. If the people that were surrounding that baby always lived in hard times, never had any money, always in debt, that's probably how that baby's going to grow up. Well, this is bizarre, but this is how it happens. You see, if we keep thinking of how can I go further, Our imagination will take us there.
What you visualize will become your reality. It just will, if you're willing to put in the actions behind it. And people think that law of attraction is something that they can believe in or not believe in, when in reality, it's happening whether you recognize it or not. Because if you go back and track your thoughts and you audit your thoughts honestly, you are living the existence that you believe you deserve to live right now. When you learn to control that through accepting that it's true and then practicing the skill set, you get better and better and better and better. These things are real, and if we can intentionally create a reality through visualization, why wouldn't you want to do that?
Anything can be done.
Focus on the future versus the past. Focus on what is going to be done differently in the future rather than what has happened in the past. Why is that? A very simple reason is because a person cannot control the past. Not being able to control the past, any criticism over what they've done in the past causes them tremendous stress and frustration. The key to success in life is a positive mental attitude. A positive mental attitude is based on expectations of success, of a positive set of expectancies. A positive set of expectancies is based on beliefs in your self-concept. The core of your self-concept, which determines your effectiveness in life, is your self-esteem, and your self-esteem is measured by how much you like yourself. The two things that hold us back more than anything else are the fears of failure and the fears of rejection. So one of the core secrets of success is this. It's become a perpetual self-esteem generating organism. Continually be doing things for yourself, to yourself, in your life that cause you to like yourself, to love yourself, to accept yourself, to respect yourself, that cause you to feel terrific about yourself.
The function of your subconscious mind is to store and retrieve data. Its job is to ensure that you respond exactly the way that you are programmed. Your subconscious mind makes everything you say and do fit a pattern consistent with your self-concept, your master program.
Before you go to sleep every night, visualize yourself being, doing, and having the good which you desire. Because while you are asleep, your conscious mind is in abeyance for a longer period of time than at any other period in your daily life. And when you impress the subconscious just before going to sleep, the subconscious works with that idea that you've given it, even while you're asleep. The subconscious mind will be correlating you with all of the good which you have visualized. You say you may not realize it, but your mind is working for you or against you, even while you are asleep. And the mastermind within you says that if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. And whatever idea you lift up before your subconscious mind, before you go to sleep, that idea is impressed upon the subconscious and it draws that to you. You'll wake up in the morning and the right ideas will just be clicking in your head.
Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Now see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's gonna be the same. And see, that way you can guess what the next 5 years are gonna be like. Look at the last 5.
Positive, personal, present tense goals written down repeatedly each day activate your subconscious and superconscious minds and step on the accelerator of your own potential. As a result, you start to move more rapidly toward the achievement of your goals, and they begin to move more rapidly toward you.
Your mind is a magnet. Now, I have what I call sometimes my mantra, and it's this: good health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. Why do I keep saying that? Because this is what I want to magnetize my mind for. The subconscious is that silent listener, and everybody has that subconscious part of the mind that hears everything you say, and it is impressed by everything you feel and everything you think. That's why I'm rather cautious about reading about what kind of flu is coming for the season. Why? Because you have a silent subconscious listener down there. And that silent subconscious listener hears that, and if it becomes impressed with that, then it'll go around having that kind of flu. And we don't want to magnetize our minds for what we do not desire. We do not want to demagnetize our minds concerning good health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money.
The most powerful ability that you have is the ability to visualize and to see your goals as already accomplished. See your life as ideal in every way. The way you do this is you create a clear, exciting picture of your goal and your ideal life and replay this picture on the screen of your mind over and over again. The rule is that all improvement in your outer life begins with an improvement in your mental pictures. And you completely control the pictures that you play on the screen of your mind. As you see yourself on the inside, you will start to be that person with those accomplishments on the outside.
You're creative. If you can visualize it, you can do it. It doesn't matter what it is. That's what Hill said. Anything the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. We can grow into anything we choose because we build the idea. It becomes the nucleus. It controls our vibration, and that dictates what we attract to us. You know what our problem is? We're growing into an oak tree one day, a carrot the next. Get locked into your idea and stay in that vibration regardless of what's happening. When you do that, it will attract to you all things requisite to the fulfillment of that picture, and it'll attract it by the harmonious vibration, the law of attraction.
Life is much too short to live fearfully, to settle for less than the best that's in us. We can become only what we expect of ourselves. We must act the part before it can become real.
When you really want something, just in my life experience and seeing other people, seeing myself, seeing other people that like made stuff happen, it's like, man, when you really want something, you're gonna find a way, ultimately.
Every single day is about winning that battle against yourself.
And it might not be today or next year or 5 years or 10 years, but this thing takes priority and precedent over all other things.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better.
When you realize you have to make this shit work or you're falling on your face, it's a different kind of grind, a different kind of mentality, a different kind of person, a different side of you that you've never seen before that comes out when you go all in.
Everybody has the desire to do something, but they don't have they don't know how to really complete the process of dedicating themselves and having the discipline to do it.
If you can see the vision of what you want in your head, the chance of holding it in your hand is exponentially higher because you can't physically hold it in your hand until you actually see it in your head first.
The amount of emotion that you attach to your visual image. In reality, this is the most important and powerful part of the visualization process. Sometimes, if your emotion is intense enough and your visual image is clear enough, your goal will immediately come true. Now, your subconscious mind is subjective. This means that it's not based on fact or truth. It does not think or reason independently. It merely obeys the commands it receives from your conscious mind. Just as your conscious mind can be thought of as the gardener planting the seeds, your subconscious mind can be thought of as the garden or fertile soil in which the seeds germinate and grow. Your subconscious mind is an unquestioning servant that works day and night to make your behavior fit a pattern consistent with your emotionalized thoughts, hopes, and desires. Your subconscious mind grows either flowers or weeds in the garden of your life, whichever you plant by the mental equivalence that you create.
If you wake up and every day you obsess over something and you live and breathe it, and that's what you think about, that's what you do, that's what you study on and off, that's what you stay up every night grinding, and no one else even gives a flying about it, it's like, you just feel like a weirdo, you know, like an outcast. We agreed not to drink, we didn't date, we didn't do anything. We just literally obsessed from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed. That's literally all we did.
We have to always remember our purpose will always be there. I have nothing in front of me right now. No race, no nothing. But the purpose is myself. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. On those bad days, when you think that you're alone, you just might be. Because you know why? No one else wants to do it.
We don't see reality how it is. We see reality how we are. You have to think about what thoughts you do want to fire and wire in your brain. And a belief is just a thought you keep thinking over and over again. And you keep, with intention and with attention, keep installing the circuitry to remember to think that way. I swear your biology will be mapped as a thought. That would be the new voice in your head that said you can.
Here's an interesting point. When you set a new goal for yourself, your image or picture of this goal will usually be vague and fuzzy. But the more often you write it and review it and repeat it mentally, the clearer it becomes for you. Eventually, it becomes crystal clear. At that point, the goal will suddenly appear in your world exactly as you imagined it.
Everything starts with a vision. What do you want to do in your life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to make happen? What do you want to make happen for between now and the end of the year? Think about it for a moment. Don't think of why you can't. Doesn't matter how much money you've got. Doesn't matter how much help you've got. Build a vision of what you would like to accomplish between now and the end of the year. And then make a written description of that vision.
The biggest lesson that I've learned is the power of the mind and just how important it is to look at yourself in a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it. And the more you believe in it, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to, see your beliefs come to pass.
If you can see it in your mind, visualize it, it must happen. That's a law of the universe. I want you to think about what it is you want in your life, but be specific. See it as already done, already accomplished. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. And it will happen in a way that you would never, ever in a million years figure it's going to happen. You say, I've got to do this and this and this. You're limiting to them as the only possible way it can happen. Just say, this is what I want. See it as already done, already accomplished. They fill in the blanks.
If you're listening to all the negative things around you, what kind of vibration do you feel that would put you in? Well, obviously, because the mind is like fertile ground, what you plant grows. So you want to make sure you don't plant what's negative, because what's negative will grow. You can't plant negativity and expect positivity to grow. So in any situation, even if there's some negative aspects to that situation, I think the most intelligent thing you might do is focus on the positive aspects of that situation, figure out the silver lining in every cloud, and focus on the good in every situation, because what goes in grows. So you do not want to focus on the negative.
If you know that you were destined for something, that you were fated for something, that you have a sense that your life had a meaning, a purpose, then you can withstand the traumas, the setbacks, the difficulties, the bullshit, criticism, and all the other things.
The secret is to get and hold fast in your mind the mental image of the person you would most like to be. Then in every situation you act and talk as you feel that person would. You make the kind of decisions you think that person would. This is the way to constantly grow into a better, more effective person. You immediately begin to act with more confidence, and confidence is the first step to accomplishment. As your accomplishments begin to grow, which they most certainly will, real confidence slowly takes the place of the part you've been playing. Day by day, you'll grow into the image you hold in your mind.
What's your dream? What do you want in life? You want happiness and joy? Want material things? Want super health? Want a great relationship? You can have it all. The external world you're living in, the conditions, experiences, is a reflection of what is within you. If you get within you pure and beautiful, the external world will change, but you have to change the inside first, and then give yourself time to succeed. When you change the inside first, it's like planting seeds. You don't plant a seed, walk out the next day and go, where's the tree? You planted the seed. You have to water it and fertilize it and give it time, and then it sprouts, and then you give it time, and it gets the sun, and then it begins to grow. That's how things manifest.
Visualizing became a normal thing. If I can see it, then it must be a reality, and I can make it a reality. So for me, the vision became a reality, so it was only then a matter of following through with the work, but it was pleasure. See, that is the great thing. When you go to work and you know exactly why you're working, then it becomes fun. A challenge.
Most of the limitations we have do not exist in reality. They exist only in your own mind. And one of the starting points of great achievement is to start questioning those self-limiting beliefs and throw them off and act as if they did not exist.
It's all about focus. I don't care who you are, where you're from, doesn't matter. It's having a focus and having a purpose. Now, you wake up every single day to get better today than you were yesterday. Now, it doesn't matter what you are. You're a basketball player, a hockey player, golf player. Right? You try to reach your full potential by getting better every single day, and that's the quest.
If you can see it here, you can hold it here. If you can entertain the idea, you can cause it to move into form, because you are in harmony, or can be in harmony, with the laws that govern your being. You can get in harmony with God's laws, and when you do, then you can make anything happen. Anything.